off big time, and I have a feeling that it's not too far off. And, it's not growth that's going to be pricking the bond market bubble. It's going to be inflation and central banks being forced to raise interest rates, despite the fact that in many countries, particularly in the United States, the economic growth won't be there, but the inflation will.
Absolutely. But thank you for that on bonds just real quick. So back to commodities. Let's talk about oil. Both WTI, West Texas Intermediate, and Brent still over $60. There's about a $6 spread between the two. What do you think's going on now, and what do you think's going to happen in the future in oil?
Yeah, well, I think oil prices are going higher. I mean, we've broken through some key levels. I think once we get really in West Texas, I think once we get above 63, maybe above 70 or so in Brent, I think we can have another major move up, maybe another $20 very quickly. What really drove the price of oil down was not, massive production coming from the Bakken in the United States. It wasn't hydraulic fracking that really did it. It was the huge move up in the U.S. dollar in 2014 or 2015. That's what broke the back of the crude oil market. And I think dollar weakness, renewed dollar weakness, is going to be what's going to send crude prices ultimately to new highs. I mean, the high for crude was up around 140 to 150. And I think before this bull market ends, we will take that high out, because it is going to be a function of the dollar. And last year was the first year in 5 that the dollar declined. It was the biggest decline for the dollar in 14 years. It was the biggest decline against the Chinese yuan in 9 years. And I think the yuan could be a big key to the price of oil going forward. I think the U.S. dollar could hit an all-time record low against the yuan in 2018. And I think that will drive tremendous demand for commodities in China, including for oil.
Peter, I want to circle back in case I missed something. I want to make sure I got it right. Did you say you thought oil could break new records?
Well, not next year, but I think ultimately we're going to make new all-time record highs
above
in the
150
price of oil, because I expect new. Yes, because
Wow.
I expect new all-time lows in the dollar. So if you go back to the dollar index, for example, the low for the dollar index in 2008, when oil was above 140, was about 70. Right now, the dollar index is about 92.
Yeah.
I think the dollar index is going to take out 70. I think we're going to go below 60. And I think when that happens, you can easily see the price of oil in U.S. dollars at a new all-time record high.
All right. Thank you for that. That would be really interesting if we get there, even if it's not in the next year or so, above that high mark from 2008. Okay, let's get to a couple others. I know you love talking about gold, and we love hearing about it. So last time we spoke, I think gold was still below 1,300, but above 1,300. What say you about where we're going?
Well, we're going higher. I mean, we're about 1,320. Right now, but gold prices are ridiculously low as far as I'm concerned in every currency. Gold had a decent year last year against the dollar. It was up, I don't know, 12, 13%, but it was actually down about 1% in terms of the euro.